Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the eclipse, the total lunar eclipse in Taurus. That'll be on the 8th. We're just going to jump right in here, Gemini, and we are going to see what is going on for you during this eclipse. You start with the Hermit there in your current general energy. Some of you could be in Hermit mode. Honestly, like several people have had the Hermit as a center card, which is pretty crazy, and what I would say is I think that, eclipses can expose the truth and, pretty much what I've said to everyone else that has had exactly this exact setup here, practically, is that the truth that's coming out is just your inner truth. It's not like someone is telling you the truth. It's more like if you're not doing things that you want to do with your life, then that's probably going to be shown to you in some way. Might be uncomfortable, but also maybe not. And ultimately, again, it doesn't matter if it's comfortable or uncomfortable. It's leading you to do things that you actually want to do with your life. So, ultimately, I see it as a good thing, regardless of what happens. I would say that this could be a little bit of a chaotic, this eclipse is a little chaotic, let's put it that way. And so there could be some chaos. And we even see this here with the King of Cups. The King of Cups is your crossing energy. But you can see that he is sitting in choppy water. So, he could be experiencing chaos in his emotions. He could also be experiencing chaos in the world. There could be some chaos going on around him. But the thing with the King of Cups is that he's sitting there, he's perfectly fine. So, even though this is your crossing energy, and maybe you feel a little out of control at times, what I would say here is that ultimately you will be fine with the King of Cups energy. It's also not a card that says run away from your emotions either. Like if you're feeling in chaos or if you're feeling angry or whatever, I would embrace it with the King of Cups energy, really. And I would go deeper on the emotion and say, like, why am I really feeling these things that I'm feeling? What is the reason? And if you can do that, and if you can sit through the emotion, then I think you'll be very successful. Kind of reminds me, there's like a story about King Tut's tomb where if you spend the night in King Tut's tomb all alone, right, in the darkness, that you come out changed, a changed person. And there's a story that the day before Napoleon lost his great battle or whatever, he ran out of the tomb. Like he was in the tomb, but he ran away. He basically ran away from his self. And, that's what we face when we're inside King Tut's tomb is our inner self, maybe our shadow self or some sort of shadow, right? And pretty intense reading, Gemini. Yours is probably the most intense out of everybody that I've read for so far, which is almost everybody. I'm at the end now. And, I feel like you could be facing yourself, but it's so that you can become very successful. I mean, you end with the Chariot. So there you go. In the area of your thoughts, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is about resources, being resourceful, gathering your resources, becoming more successful. So I do feel there's like some sort of increase in your finances coming in for you very shortly. I think this increase is going to make you very happy as well. I get a certain sense of joy off of this card for some reason. I don't normally feel that on the Queen of Pentacles, but I feel like you're feeling very happy about any increases that come your way with the Queen of Pentacles. I would also say that, like, I kind of feel like some of you need to work smarter, not harder, which has come up for a couple other people, but, it could be like a collective energy. But what I would say here is that she doesn't necessarily look to work harder, right? And this is what we see in your reading, is if we go down this way, we see hard work, 10 of Wands. But we go to the 9 of Wands. He's looking up this way. He's looking up here. So he's like saying, do I have all these extra responsibilities for no reason? Like, are the things I'm working on in work and business, are they actually moving me forward? Are they making me more money, making me more successful, getting me more customers? I'd be asking all those questions if I were you, if you have a business, even in work as well. If like you have a job where there's like tons of paperwork for no reason, maybe it's like a sign that there's another job that you go get with less paperwork that's more efficient. I've been saying since 2017, since we had Saturn and Capricorn, that really Saturn and Capricorn is like efficiency. And, it's like, I don't think it's a mistake. And again, this is not a political statement, but it's like Trump was president at that time and he ended a bunch of, like regulations and things like that. I'm not saying it's right or wrong either, but I'm just saying astrologically, I'm sure someone's going to get offended. So get over yourself if you're one of those people. And I don't support any president, period. But what I would say here is that it kind of like fits in with the astrology because he removed a bunch of things that might not have been efficient. And whether it's right or wrong is neither here nor there. But what I would say is on a personal level in your life, I feel some of you could be like looking at things and saying, this is a waste of time. This is not a waste of time. It might not even be in business. It could be in love. It could be in health or spiritually. You know, you could be seeing the things that are just kind of not leading to a result. And I feel you're looking to move on from those things. We even see it right here with the Six of Swords, like moving on to calmer shores. So I feel for some of you, you're just kind of cutting out the crap, Gemini. That was a really long way to say that you're cutting out the crap. You have the Ace of Cups in your foundation. Almost every single person has had the Ace of Cups. So I feel it's kind of interesting because, again, like I've said to others, I didn't really expect to get any cards of fulfillment during this eclipse, and there have been a ton of cards of fulfillment. So a lot of people could be focusing on their own fulfillment, but this also suggests to me that you are being fulfilled. So some of you could be finding fulfillment in pretty much any area of your life. In your past, you have the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is about overcoming some obstacles. Sometimes, not always true, but you can see these mountains on the Ace of Swords here. The sword is above the mountains, which says you will always be able to easily overcome any obstacles that come your way. So that's why it kind of also represents a victory. I'm wondering if some of you have cut some things out of your life with the Ace of Swords, because it can represent a sacrifice. There's this palm frond right here and an olive branch over here. Palm fronds represent sacrifice. The olive branch represents an offer of peace or abundance. But, you know, I kind of feel some of you have already cut some things out of your life. The sword cuts both ways on the Ace of Swords. But something feels a little out of balance to me. So it's like maybe there's still some things hanging on, right? Let's put it that way. You know, this could have to do with if it's relationships, maybe some cords need to be cut. If this isn't like work or business, maybe you're just like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. The energy to me is very interesting in the fact that I would also say that if you're 1 foot in, 1 foot out of something, it's not going to work. Plain and simple. It's like the universe has been very much like piss or get off the pot. Like either you make a decision or you don't, right? And, you know, that's the energy I get. In the near future, you have the Ten of Wands. So I feel like you no longer want burdens in your life. Nobody does. But, you know, the Ten of Wands isn't necessarily a bad card because he's chosen those burdens. He planted those wands. And he's about to release his burden right here. But it's also a harvest. So he's carrying a harvest. But, again, I feel like some of you know that things don't have to be so difficult in your life. That's like really the gist of your reading. I feel like you know that life is never easy, but I feel you know that things can be easier. Even over the next few months, you have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is my card of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. So, you know, I would be kind of like experimenting, looking for new ways of doing things. I would also say that, you know, it could be a good time to like put some boundaries up against people, places, and things that no longer serve you. But I also feel it'd be good to open up to things that do serve you. So, you know, a lot of you could be kind of, again, kind of the crap, really deciding like what situations in my life are worth it and which situations are not worth it. And I feel you could be just putting up those boundaries, plain and simple. In the area of your closest relationships, you have the Queen of Cups. Pretty good. You know, a lot of fulfillment, a lot of happiness in your close relationships. People want to support you with the Queen of Cups. I also feel like I'm getting like people want to listen to you as well, or people want to listen to your dreams. Those are the words that are popping into my head. So, you know, maybe it would be a good time to share ideas or plans with people who are very close to you in your life. There could be a lot of abundance and success in doing that. If you're looking for love, could be love, but I think you're more thinking about love with the Queen of Cups. We're going to clarify in a minute, and we'll see where that goes. Next, in the area of your future feelings, you have the Six of Swords, feeling like you're moving on. Feeling like you're moving on to calmer shores. I feel pretty good about this because I feel like you feel supported. I feel like you feel that you are going in the right direction as well, even though maybe you've made a sacrifice in the recent past. You know, the woman and the child in this boat, they have nothing with them, just only the clothes on their back. They're completely sacrificing everything from the past to move on to calmer shores. So I feel for a lot of you that you are making a total sacrifice here, or you have made a sacrifice and you're like hoping that there are improvements in the future. Guess what? Yes, big time improvements. Major victory coming in for you. With the Chariot, he's leaving behind the city behind him, in hopes of like a brighter future, or maybe he's looking for a place where there's less competition in his life, you know? It's like there's a lot of people in the city, but really I think there's a bigger picture with the Chariot in that he's kind of looking to set up his own city. He's looking to, you know, find his own kingdom, you know, if that makes sense. So I kind of feel that for some of you. I don't know if I would call these independent vibes. Maybe independence is part of this, but that doesn't mean you're going to be alone also. But I kind of feel like some of you are kind of looking to, you know, do your own thing. This is not what I wanted. You know, I feel like you're looking to do your own thing. I also feel like you're being guided by the universe. Again, these two sphinxes here, they represent mystery, but they also represent the universe, and they understand everything you've been through. They have their tails and their paws right here. It's kind of hard to see, but it represents the fact that they understand like what was behind this person, the Chariot driver. They understand where he's come from, like his past. They understand everything about him. So to me, it says like the universe will never steer you wrong. The universe will always have your back. And, you know, that's what I feel here. So let's clarify this. I'm using the Oracle of the Radiant Sun to clarify, but with the Hermit and the King of Cups, you have this criticism card here. I'm not really sure why this is coming up, if I'm being honest with you. Maybe you shouldn't be criticizing yourself, or you are criticizing yourself, so I'd be careful of that. You do have the Queen and King of Cups here, so, you know, if you have like a past relationship, the King of Cups is, you know, obviously the crossing energy. So if you're dealing with a person from the past, maybe you need to put up some boundaries. Maybe they're criticizing you, or maybe you're criticizing yourself. Take it how it resonates. I would just let it go. Let's clarify that. You have the control card. Again, you could have been dealing with a controlling person, but this is not what this card means. This card is more like the world. So, you know, you can even see here, it looks like the world. So there's clearly, this could be you taking control. I feel there's a lot of abundance coming in for you as well, Gemini. So I like to see that. With the Queen of Pentacles, you have the excitement card. This is the only thing that I would focus on for the rest of my life. This is the only thing that I do focus on right now, is things that excite me, things that bring me joy and happiness and abundance and like good stuff. Does that mean that only good things happen to me? No, of course not. It's like, you know, of course, bad things will always happen. There will always be challenges, but I look at my challenges and say, how can I make this better, right? How can I turn this into something that's useful for me or valuable for me and all this other stuff? People always accuse me of being too positive, and it's like, no, it's like bad things still happen in my life and challenges still happen, but it's how I approach them that is what has changed, right? And that's why I'm always positive and also get over it. But trust me, it's like I was in your shoes. I tell a story all the time. I used to like be so miserable that people would tell me to be positive and I just wanted to puke. So, you know, like I get it, but at the same time, I would focus on positivity and what you can get out of a situation and stop allowing situations to happen to you, right? You need to happen to them. With the Ace of Cups, you have this lust card. Love is like starting to creep in is what I feel here. You could be attracted to a person here. If you were dealing with like a Capricorn, a Virgo, a Cancer, a water sign in the past, I feel like there's still attraction here. But is it just lust? I don't know. You have to answer that question, plain and simple. With the Ten of Cups, you have this versatility card. Everyone's had this card. I mean, this is the Sun in Gemini, and you know, I've said to everyone that I really believe that this eclipse is requiring everyone to be flexible. It's like we need to be, it's like the people who are most flexible are going to be the most successful. I say this all the time, the people who are the most adaptable, I've been saying this since like 2017, that I believe that for the rest of your life, the people who are more adaptable to situations are going to be successful. So what happens if you're not adaptable, right? Some of us are just fixed, and that's fine. That's, you know, I'm not here to judge you, right? What I would say is that like learning to educate yourself, or when you get into a situation that needs to change, but you don't want it to change, I would at least explore a change, right? I would at least explore, like, what would this look like if I did things differently? Or, again, maybe you need to learn something new with this card, because, you know, I think if we encounter an obstacle, for example, if we learn about it, then we immediately take our power back and we can overcome the obstacle. Doesn't matter what challenge you're going through. You know, that's what I would be doing here. With the Nine of Wands, you have the detachment card. I would be careful of being too detached from your feelings, number one, especially with that Six of Swords. Like, I feel like you should be feeling things and processing your emotions, which we talked about with the King of Cups. Can we get more details here? You have the Harmony card. Yeah, I think being more in touch with your emotions will bring more harmony into your life. I also feel this could be communication. Like, some of you, it's like if you need to clear the air with someone in your life, or, you know, if you want communication from a person, I would just open up here, because I think regardless of what the answer is, it will bring harmony into your life. Like, people always ask me, when I used to answer questions, people would be like, should I contact so-and-so and tell them I like them? It's like, well, but it's like, you'll never know if you don't tell, if you don't let them know. And it's like, if you don't tell them, it's like you're just living a lie. Because if you're interested in a person and you don't let them know, then again, you're not really lying, but you'll never know the answer, number one. Number two, you'll never get what you want. So whether they are into you or they're not into you, I don't know, I feel like someone needs to hear this. It's like, you might as well get it off your chest so that you're not just like constantly thinking about it and not setting yourself free, you know? With the Queen of Cups here, you have this choice card. There's some sort of choice in love for you here. You know, you have this idealism card, and I'm wondering if maybe you idealize relationships in the first place. Maybe you look at them as too good or too bad, take it how it resonates. But maybe it's somewhere in the middle, right? And, you know, being idealistic isn't always necessarily a bad thing, but it's also not a good thing either. So maybe relationships need more balance in your life, or maybe you have to make a decision in a relationship. And, you know, I don't know. It's like, let's see. What is this decision here? Yeah. Like, how do you organize your life, right? It's like, I feel for some of you that there could be an opportunity for you to be in a relationship, but maybe it would require some sort of change. The Chariot and the Six of Swords. Maybe, you know, you want to be with a very successful person, but you also want a career, but maybe that person doesn't want that. There's some sort of, something that is out of balance here, I feel. And, you know, can this be overcome? Of course. I feel like you just need to have a communication and, like, talk to the person, you know, if you're dealing with a person here. I feel for others, this is going to happen in the future, where it's like there's some sort of difference between what the two people want. But again, I don't think this is the end of the relationship. And again, as I always say, I think we should be looking for relationships that are like that, because when you find a person who can either like compromise or who's willing to work on things or willing to make something work, where there's like some sort of, you know, imbalance, let's put that in quotation marks. And I'm not saying it's a bad relationship, but maybe there's just a little imbalance. Like, those are like the best types of people. So that's what I'd be looking for. With the Six of Swords, you have the resourcefulness card. I think we said something about you being very resourceful at the beginning of the reading. I feel that you are very focused on your resources in general. I just feel like a lot of abundance. I feel like you're feeling abundant, feeling successful, feeling like things are secure and all this other stuff. I feel a little bit bored is what I'm going to say to you, Gemini. I feel like maybe it's like sometimes we make money and it's like good, but it's like not great. And I feel like you want greatness here as well. Yeah, I feel like you need to be more original. I mean, we're entering into the time of Aquarius. I've been saying this non-frickin-stop, that if you want to be successful, you have to come up with original ideas, try new things. You have to, you know, kind of be willing to experiment as well. So I would be doing all those things. And if you have original ideas, I would be trying them. They're not all going to work, but the things that work are going to make you like money or success or whatever you want. With the Chariot, another card of innovation. So I would be trying new things and doing something new. I would just be moving towards newness in general with that Chariot. Yeah, you have the seduction card as well. This is going to happen right now. This card is Jupiter and Pisces. We have Jupiter and Pisces until the end of December, basically. So, you know, I feel for a lot of you that these improvements are going to happen now. I also feel like if you're looking to, you know, leave the city behind with the Chariot, which is technically like going somewhere new, you're probably going to be doing that right now. So there you go. We're going to pull 3 cards now here, Gemini, and feel free to pause the reading if you need time to think of your question. I'm going to answer one question with these 3 cards. If you don't have a question, that's fine too, because I'm going to put all 3 together as kind of like a personal-ish reading. But, feel free to pause now, because I'm going to read the cards right now. You have the Moon, the 5 of Pentacles, and the 6 of Pentacles. Some of you could be feeling left out in the cold after some sort of separation or breakup. There could have been like a breadcrumbing situation here with the 6 of Pentacles, or someone wasn't willing to cross some sort of barrier with the Moon card is what I feel. So I feel like somebody out there, this might only be true for one of you. I feel like looking at this, someone's asking like, why did a person leave, or like, what the hell happened? And again, I feel like someone wasn't willing to, just too many fears. They made up too many stories in their head, or they were breadcrumbing because they have too many fears. And I feel like they just weren't willing to cross the moon, you know, go through the period of needing to kind of like discover each other. So that maybe they kept you at arm's length all the time. For others, I feel like you're worrying about finances here. 6 of Pentacles says what I said in the reading: experiment, try new things. 6 of Pentacles is about planting seeds. And, you know, I keep preaching this stuff, and I'm literally going to be working on a new channel all about this because I think it's that important that I think we need to experiment a lot right now because most of our ideas aren't going to work, but the ideas that do work are going to work so well, they'll probably change your whole life. So that's what I would do here. But this looks pretty good. So thank you for being here, Gemini. I really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your month.